We have a lot to get to tonight, but first, that massive North Knoxville fire.
Yeah, this time yesterday at the old Standard Knitting Mill, well, it was up in flames.
Many of you reaching out to tell us you can see thick smoke and fire miles from the abandoned factory site off Washington Avenue. Firefighters spending the night putting out that blaze.
Now, in the aftermath, we're learning what comes next for this piece of local history.
6 on your side's Elizabeth Kubel joins us live from the scene now with a look at what the site has been and, well, what it could be. Elizabeth?
Well, Lori, this has certainly been a talker over the last 24 hours, not only because last night's scene was so intense, but also because this building is filled with history and memories.
1932, held at Tate Springs Hotel. And what's really cool about this photo is that everybody's named in it.
Pictures of former Standard Knitting Mill employees and artifacts from its prime.
This is a uniform for a Standard Knitting Mill operator, circa 1940s and 50s.
The East Tennessee Historical Society has a collection from the old factory site that has become a Knoxville landmark.
It's older than most Knoxvillians are. Most people live in Knoxville, and certainly since I've moved here, it's been a landmark. And has meant so much to the community, even when it was empty.
It was not the first textile mill in Knoxville or the second, but it became the biggest over the years. And I think it may have been the biggest single employer in Knoxville at one time.
Most recently, in 2019, WRS Inc. acquired the remaining buildings and property. The company told us today they still have plans for redevelopment with the hope of preserving as much of the historic character as possible.
There's going to have to be a reassessment to see what damage was done and where we go from here. So the process is happening, and we're very hopeful that a redevelopment plan can move forward.
Knoxville Mayor India Kincannon toured the site today. And we also got a new view of the damage. Drone video shows us what the scene looks like from above, as investigators work now to figure out what caused this.
There was no power or no other utilities on the building, so that would lead us to believe that the fire was set. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean there was malicious intent in setting that fire. It could have been a warming fire, it could have been a cooking fire. Or it could have been malicious, and that's where the investigation will have to determine that.
And in the last 20 minutes now, we have learned that this property has been turned back over to its owner. And also, by the way, this was not the only fire that happened right here yesterday. It was actually the second fire that happened. One happened earlier in the day on Sunday, but Knoxville fire crews tell me they do not believe the two were connected. Lori?
All right, Elizabeth, thank you.
I even stepped outside after our 6 o'clock newscast yesterday. I could see that thick orange glow from our parking lot there on North Broadway. I am about a half a mile away now back here at the scene, and today we are getting a new vantage point of this building. I want to show you some brand new drone video that we took today. Take a look right here at your screen. This shows us that old Standard Knitting Mill property. Fire crews stayed overnight to keep an eye on hot spots, and they were back throughout the day today, looking at the damage as they try now to figure out what caused this fire.
Right now, the cause for last night's fire is still under investigation. There was no power or no other utilities on the building, so that would lead us to believe that the fire was set.
That is the latest there from fire crews. And last night when we were here at the scene, we met people who have fond memories here at this building. They have family members that worked here. Coming up tonight at 6, we are going to take a look at the history of this property. Lori?